We worked.
We didn't put a video out last week, did we?
We worked all
Oh,
week.
yeah, because I had to work 6 flipping days.
And overnight.
Oh, I had to work overnight a couple nights. Yeah. Last week was kind of crazy. I mean, we were going to make a video on Sunday, and I didn't do crap.
He slept all day.
Welcome back to the channel, Forever and Counting Love here. My name is Anthony,
I'm Serena.
and we've been going through it. Yeah. We've trying to figure out what we're going to do for the video today, and we back and forth about some stuff, and
Took 2 naps.
took a couple naps, and then we go to hit record, but nothing. You know, computer issues, I guess. I don't know. Watch YouTube and figure it out because we're YouTube certified.
And a lot of things.
Yeah, except for making videos and getting subscribers. But yeah. No, but it ended up being like an OBS thing. Then we got the OBS going back, then the camera wasn't on. And it's like, come on. So I don't know. When we go to rewatch this, it may not.
May not work.
I don't know. Whatever.
Well, let's hope that it does. If this is your first time joining us, please, if you like it, hit the subscribe button. Give us a comment.
Let us know how you feel about the channel.
That's it.
That's it. We got it.
Hit the little ring-a-ding-ding-ding-ga-ding-ga-ding-ga-ding.
You should get a bell right here. Ba-ba-ding. Whatever.
Oh, I have my cowbell.
No more cowbell. I need more cowbell. Man, so it's how was your week?
It was busy.
But good.
Yeah,
right?
it was good.
It was a good week.
It was just busy.
Not great, not terrible.
Busy.
Busy, yeah. Work is starting to pick up
Busy.
for both of us.
Yeah.
I had like another, what was it,
60 plus hours.
2 weeks in a row, 60 plus hours. So that's good for the paycheck. You went up in your ratings for work.
1.
Hey, that's positive.
It's positive.
And 3-day weekend.
Fun yard selling.
Sort of 3-day weekend. But if you're watching this today, is Memorial Day.
Happy Memorial Day.
What were you telling me earlier? You said you heard about.
I heard that Memorial Day started after the Civil War. The commander-in-chief, I don't remember his name, of the Union soldiers.
Probably should know that.
It's Logan. His last name was Logan. I don't remember.
We might be wrong.
No, it was Logan.
Okay, we're going Logan.
He wanted to honor the fallen soldiers, so he called it Decoration Day.
Oh, there we go. That's kind of cool.
Because you would go and decorate the grave sites. So, then in, what did I say, 1971,
I think so, something like that.
it became a federal holiday, and it became known as Memorial Day to memorialize the fallen heroes, or just veterans. I mean, I guess it would be the fallen ones, not the veterans, because Veterans Day,
They have a Veterans Day.
yeah, is in November.
Golly, that's terrible. We should know that too.
We have veterans in our family. I don't know when it is. So I'm thinking Memorial Day is probably for like the fallen ones, not just the veterans.
Yeah.
So
who are you remembering?
well, I guess that wouldn't that wouldn't be the same. They weren't fallen.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They were fallen. They came home, both of them. So I don't think that would be the same.
And who was it for you?
So like my grandfather, both, which is it's going to be really weird when I say this. My biological grandfather was in the army. My grandfather, which I guess would be my actually would be my step grandfather, but he was there all my life. My grandfather, he was in the Navy, not Marines.
I don't know where he was at.
Marines, I
I want to
think.
say Navy, but
Yeah, maybe it was in Navy. He was in the Navy. And then um your grandfather,
he was in the Army.
yeah. And then I have an aunt that was in the army, and I have a cousin that is still in the army.
Did you know what my grandfather did in the Army?
Mm-mm.
He was a cook.
That's funny. That's what my grandfather was too.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
And that makes sense because he was a dang good cook.
No, no. Yeah, your grandfather
Yeah,
was.
yeah.
My grandfather, I don't know. I
He
never
said
was
for
around him.
like he'd tell me crazy stories. Like there was days where all he did was just
Peel potatoes.
peel potatoes. And I'm like, I thought that was a joke. He's like, ain't no joke. You got all them boys to feed.
Potatoes it
That's
is.
it, man. That's it. But,
My mom told me that my biological grandfather, was in the army, and he was a cook.
that's crazy. That's weird. I never knew that. Like both of our grandfathers were cooks.
So
Well, actually, and you know, Ben, I want to say he was in the Air Force.
yeah, that would kind of make sense.
Because he worked. That was well, he was my grandfather, but we didn't know my mom. Crazy quick story. She knew she had a father, but she didn't know who he was. And then when I was younger, she found out where he was and got in contact with him. And boom, I got another grandfather. And he was when we met him, he was actually working for the airlines. He was he worked in the tower.
Air traffic controller.
There you go. That sounds about right. And I've seen pictures. I don't have any pictures of him, but I've seen pictures when I want to say he was in the Air Force, standing next to, big old jets and everything. But I could be wrong on that one, but I know he was in the service also.
I want to say that the Papa was in the Marines and not in the Navy.
Mm.
I want to say that. I want to say that he was in the Marines.
I remember you heard a story like Dad. He was almost in the Army.
Daddy said that he went to boot camp. I guess they had like this thing, which is really strange for me. I don't know, like if it's the same for your dad. But like Daddy said, he actually went to Fort Hood in North Carolina. I think that's in North Carolina. He went, and he just thought, I don't even know what he thought. Anyway, he was there for 3 days. Like the draft guy told him he could stay for 3 days. He had 3 days to decide whether or not he wanted to stay or not.
You had the choice?
And then after 3 days, they would ask him, if do you want to stay or do you want to go? And the whole time he was there, he was like thinking. It was him and Leroy went. And he told Leroy, he's like, I'm going to stay. And I guess everybody there that was already in the army, they were all like, dude, don't stay here. Go home. Go home. Go home. Go home. So Daddy, like at the end of it, Daddy was like, yeah, I'm going home.
I didn't know you had a choice.
I didn't either.
I know my dad, he got selected for like the whole Vietnam thing. I remember him telling me about that. And then like all his friends are like watching this selection thing on TV that they had, and his number was the only one that got picked. And then he had to go to this thing. It was like, he told me like Grandpa dropped him off. He said it was at some mall parking lot. Like something crazy you would see on a movie or on TV. Like it was like 1 o'clock in the morning, and it was pouring down rain.
Oh my
And
gosh.
well, you got to go get one of these buses, and you get these buses, and these guys are like, get on the bus, get on the-" they're already like starting the
Yelling
stuff.
at you.
And he went through starting the process, and then they went through like the whole testing, like you test
Physicals and stuff.
physical, this and that, and he failed because of his vision, and he got to go home. He got lucky. He said he's like, yeah, I ain't been so happy, but like I
Maybe
remember
his,
Grandpa was mad.
yeah, maybe his wasn't the draft. Maybe it was like they were going to enlist.
Oh, okay.
So he had like,
a choice.
yeah, and he had like a choice to either stay for, and then at the end of the 3 days, he had a choice to go home.
I remember he said that he knew people that also had got selected, not like his close friends, but other people that got selected. They went to Vietnam and
They
never
didn't come
heard,
back again.
never
Yeah.
came back. It's sad, but
It's a place we should have never been.
so but so Memorial Day today. We record this on Sunday, uploaded on Monday, so
Monday.
and off work today, which is
Yes.
good. 3-day weekend. But not really.
I was gonna say it doesn't feel like it.
It's Sunday already, man. It's just like golly, and that went by so fast. Busy day, busy week.
Saturday, you try to
And
recover, but then we worked on Saturday because we're not working, or
Monday,
I'm not working on Monday, and he's not working on Monday.
I get paid. So
I don't. So, we worked for a little while,
yeah.
and then
So our plan is tomorrow, Memorial Day. There's this huge flea market here. It's called Webster Flea Market, if you've ever heard of it, in Florida, and it's only open on Mondays, and it's like it goes across the street.
it's massive.
It's a big like I don't. You could probably walk the whole thing, but you're walking. You ain't stop.
Yeah,
Excuse me. You're not stopping and looking.
yeah,
It's hard to get through everything, but we haven't been.
in a really long time.
So I think that was one reason why we worked on Saturday was to get a little bit of extra money for for the flea market. So I thought it'd be cool. We may go and not find nothing, or we could go and come back broke. One of the two. At least we had a good time.
We
And,
had fun.
and but yeah. So you know, was it Friday? Yeah, nothing really happened during the week except for stupid nail of the tire. Uneventful, but we're having
Nail nail problems are tire
tire
problems.
problems just like one after another. But anyway, but that taken care of. And so was it Friday? I drive a concrete truck, and Friday morning, we go to our first job, and and it's kind of hard to explain without the visual, but you know, I do the best I can. But anyway, so was I was the first truck on the job, and there was we go to a pump to do this pour a slab. There's usually always a pump, and two trucks can back up to the pump, and one pours. Then when you're almost out, the second truck starts pouring. So I was the first truck, and he knows I don't like being the first truck. Just because I feel like I don't like being first truck. I'll be second, third, fourth, fifth. I just don't want to be a first truck. And so we're standing there at this pump, and sometimes if you don't, you got to fill it up quick if you're the first truck, and if you don't, like air gets in the system and the air's got to come out. Poof, and it just it'll get all over the truck, it'll get all over you. But this time was different. It like when the the concrete goes down. I know it's getting boring quick. And when it comes down and goes through the pipes and goes through everything, that first turn it makes, there's a seal there, and apparently that seal wasn't completely sealed, and I'm standing right there, and just like it was like a pressure washer oof, hit me right in the face, and I tried to get a picture as best I could, but like the picture didn't do it justice. It was just, I mean, it was I for some reason because like we got a little remote for our truck while we are doing it, and for some reason I just remembered to turn it off. If I didn't, it would have been a disaster
Ugh.
out there. But like it's in my face, I couldn't open my eyes, and it's like what
4:30
3:30,
in the morning.
3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning, so it's dark outside, I can't see, and I'm they're trying to get water for me, and there's a guy on site that works at a company, and he's there for like safety and anything should happen. And the one time that something happens, he's in the porta john. He took off down the road to go use the
My
restroom. So he
gosh.
comes back, and so it's like it's in my hair, it's in my face, it was in my eyes, all over my shirt.
That shirt didn't complain.
It didn't complain. Golly. Basically, it was like a mixture of like water and sand just hitting you in the face. Someone hit you with the pressure washer gun, bam, right in the face. And I've never seen that happen before. And here I am, the first truck. So luckily, I went back to the yard and I got a new shirt, new hat, and everything. So that shirt's just garbage, then, huh?
Yeah, because it's like all up the side.
Maybe I shouldn't have waited that late to should have washed it as soon as I got home, but anyway, it happens. At least I got a new shirt out of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that wasn't fun. So like all day, I tried to rinse out my hair best I could, and it's like in my beard. You could feel it in your teeth, and just like I had to take my contacts out, and golly, man, it was crazy. What a way to start the morning. I was like, this is going to be a great weekend. But, but Friday night we had a good night.
We went to a hot pot.
Mr. Hot Pot.
Mr. Hot Pot. We went to a hot pot. If anybody has been to one, if you haven't, so it's like
I'll try to throw some pictures up there if I can.
it's a table, and it has like four circle things like eyes,
Burners, yeah.
like burners inside the table, and then in the center is a grill, like a little grill inside there. And so you do like a Korean barbecue,
There you go.
and or an Asian barbecue.
Yeah.
And then you have the choice of if you want like soup or just the barbecue.
Or both.
Or both.
Yeah. That's where we made the mistake last time. We did both, and
Yeah.
not a big fan of the soup.
No. And then they also have conveyor belts that run. Ours don't run around the whole restaurant. Most of them do.
Yeah.
Most Asian, like if you go to if you're in China or Japan or wherever, and you go to the one, theirs do run the whole restaurant.
Oh, wow.
Ours just ran like up the backs of the tables, like side by side on each side. And then it has like stuff that you can put inside the soups, mainly
like ramen and stuff like that. Yeah.
And vegetables and bok choy. I mean, just stuff you can put inside your soup. And then they have bars that have like raw meat and
shrimp. I was loading on the garlic shrimp. Man, I was destroying that stuff.
They have kimchi, and I mean, they have everything. Then you can make your own sauces to cook your meat and vegetables or whatever.
I wasn't too for sure about that, so I was getting some of the meat that was already like sauced up and just ready to go.
Our daughter that went with us, and she loves the Asian culture.
Mm-hmm.
She loves everything about it. And so, like, she was over there making lettuce boats and had kimchi.
Yeah, it's like she's been there 100 times. Yeah. She knew it. I was like, dang.
She made her own sauce.
Yeah.
But she loves that culture, so she already knew everything about it. And, like, me and Anthony are sitting over there, and, like, I'm eating chicken.
Yeah, peppers and onions and
mushrooms,
and steak and chicken and
zucchini,
yum sauce. It's like what we know.
Yeah.
There was like I kept telling you, like every time I went up there to get something else, they had like sliced up lamb. And I was like, I've never had lamb before, and I was afraid to get it. It's like I don't want to waste it.
She got salmon, but they had squid. And,
after we got done eating, I was like, there's salmon up there? I was just like,
they had squid, they had octopus, they had actual prawns, like you had to peel and the shrimp.
Yeah, I did see those. Yeah.
They had those.
That's too much work.
I don't like fermented food. Anthony does, but our daughter, she loves kimchi. I'm just not a big. I guess that's not true because I like pickles, but I don't like sauerkraut and I don't like kimchi and
You should have that for dinner.
sauerkraut.
Just a bowl of sauerkraut.
No, you go right ahead.
But that
I
was
don't like the smell.
so that was Friday night, and Saturday we worked a little bit, and we didn't really do much last night, did we? After we worked and came home, and I
We
took a little nap.
made nachos.
Oh yeah, me nachos for dinner. Then today we you know went in first time in a while for myself. And we had picked up Serena a set, well, not a full set, but a set of golf clubs, and first time trying to use those.
Yeah,
And
still working on it.
oh yeah, that was the first time I've been out. We just went to a driving range, and first time I've swung a club since I got hurt.
Yeah, but Izzy just it doesn't. It doesn't matter if it's your first time or you've been out there all the time.
Some of it felt natural. It's like I was just like,
He's a natural.
and it's like, but some of it, I was the problem I've had before is, like when I'm swinging, I'm playing, I'm okay. But if I stop for I'd rest for a little bit, then my back stiffens up. Then it just like I go to swing, I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't swing. I don't know. I don't know. I just luckily, like
She
she had it.
over there.
Serena had an ibuprofen in the car, and I took that, and I was like, thank goodness. I was like, that loosened it up a little bit, but we went out there with one of our good friends, I work with, and that I met at work, and
He's hilarious.
and his wife was in Texas, and he's about to go to Texas. His daughter is about to graduate and everything. So, actually, they have their own channel, Wilma and Gabriel. I'll try to put it up there
Yeah,
somewhere.
go ahead and point. Right over there?
Over there?
Over there?
Over there?
Over there?
Somewhere over there?
Over there? Over down there.
I like how people do that. I'm
Down
like,
there?
we're going to put this right up here, and like nothing shows up, which could happen right now. Yeah, I mean, but he went. It was actually he suggested. He's like, basically he's just bored. Wife and kid are gone, and we work a lot, and he works more than I do. He's like does the same thing I do. Plus, he's like a part-time paramedic, and he just you know. So we went out, and I think it was good for all of us, but I think it was good more for him to get out and get his mind off stuff, and you know so that was pretty fun. But yeah, so if you go check out their channel, let them know that Forever and Counting sent you over there, and but that's not too much, I don't want to say it was an uneventful weekend, but an uneventful week, but just a busy week,
Just busy working.
We didn't put a video out last week, did we?
We worked all
Oh yeah, because I had to work 6 flipping days.
And overnight.
Oh, I had to work overnight a couple nights. Yeah, last week was kind of crazy. I mean, we were going to make a video on Sunday, and I didn't do crap.
He slept all day.
I didn't sleep all day, but I was in the bed all day.
No, you did sleep. You slept almost all day.
Oh man.
Which was fine. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Was fine. Like, you were tired. You guys did
We were busy.
3 overnights? Plus work during the day.
Yeah, well, 2 of them was, you know, like you worked a regular 8 or 9 hours. Like the one was ridiculous. It was,
You worked more than 8 or 9 hours.
well, the first one was like, I worked at like 5:30 to like 2:30 p.m. Then had to go back in at like 7:30 p.m. And I didn't get off till like 11 o'clock the next morning.
Yeah.
Woo! And I'm just saying 11 o'clock, and it might have been later than that. But that's one bad thing about the job. It's like you don't have like a set schedule. Like at the end of the day, they send you your start time for the next day. So on Friday, they send you your start time for Monday. So in this instance,
it's Tuesday.
They sent it for Tuesday. 2:30 in the morning, Tuesday morning. And it's like all the whole weekend. That's all you think about. It's like I got to be up at like 1 o'clock in the morning to go. But
and I'm sitting here thinking I gotta get up.
Yeah, you gotta take me to work because we only have one vehicle. Yeah. So, but that's the job. But So it feels like last week
ran into this week.
Here we are.
But I mean, we've been doing this construction thing for a
Too
while.
long? Oh.
For a while, we've been doing this construction thing. So it's like after Christmas, it kind of gets slow. And then all of a sudden, April,
Yeah, well, yeah.
the
was
end of April, the beginning of May, it kind of picks up, and then it just
it was crazy.
snowballs.
So like this past year was different. I don't want to say different, unusual
Probably.
circumstances. So there was like two hurricanes back to back.
Oh,
Then
for
it
us,
then
yeah.
it led in.
No, there were three. There was one, and then like a week later, we had two back to back. So we were sitting on
So
top of three
deal with all that
hurricanes.
crap. So
Yeah.
then I remember the last time I was doing this, like during the election, everything kind of slows down because nobody knows what's going to happen, for the election. So that slows down. So that
So
was
we
like
had the
November.
hurricanes, and then
Then it
that.
goes into the holidays and Christmas and New Year's, and it slows down a little bit for that. And so now
But
it's
usually,
May and it's just starting to get going
but
again.
usually, like right before Christmas or
Yeah,
the
there's like
end
a
of the
little
year,
push.
like there's a big push because everybody needs to get it all done before the end of the quarter. That way they can start the new quarter on a new note. Well, no one pushed this year. Everybody was just like,
We're fighting to get 40 hours,
yeah,
which is good to get 40 hours, but nobody does this job for 40 hours. They do this
no,
job because you get the
for
overtime,
overtime.
and you get paid pretty good for the overtime. So, when you're used to getting it and you're not getting it, I guess we shouldn't depend on that overtime, but hey, that's life. But we our reselling journey has been okay this week.
Mm-hmm.
It's been all right. We've been trying something new, like reselling. We kind of dabble with it here and there, but I think now we're kind of like trying to put a little bit more into it.
We're trying.
Trying.
So Anthony met this guy,
hmm
and he
He
wasn't
lives
really
here. He lives here about 15 minutes
this
down.
way from us. I met him at a yard sale, then Anthony met him, and then like that was it. He was best friends. And we're sitting there and we're talking, and he's a reseller, and
Like he's 100%
he's a
full time.
time
That's what he
reseller.
does. And he does pretty good.
So we're sitting there and we're talking about this reselling thing. Okay, listen, I'm not saying I'm lazy. Here's what I am saying. I get bored really quick with monotonous,
hmm
like over and over.
And that's reselling.
And that's reselling. I will help all day long. I will print the labels. I will package the stuff. I will take it to the post office. I don't mind doing all of that. Sitting there and taking the pictures and writing the descriptions. And
I
I
like doing
heard it.
that. I
I
like doing that.
I heard Harry Tornado say it today. He's like the trench, that that massive muck of eBay.
hmm
And I was like, yeah, that's what it is. And I don't like doing it. But we're sitting there talking to this guy, and then all of a sudden, like this whole resale thing went from Anthony and me doing this reselling thing to me doing this reselling thing. And I'm sitting there and I'm looking at Anthony like, this ain't gonna happen. Like this is not. And so yeah. So ask Anthony who's been doing the pictures and all that stuff.
That's me.
Who packages it all up and takes it to the post office.
We've both been doing that. So I enjoy doing the putting all the information in. Sometimes, like last
He has
night.
a football.
Like last
Come
night.
on in here.
Well, we can go back to
That's okay. He asked me. She was gonna be here.
it. uh,
Last night.
yeah. So last night I was putting some more stuff on, and it's got to be at a point of like, okay, I'm good. I don't want to do no more. So you know,
But I sat there with Anthony one day. I think I did two, maybe three.
yeah,
And I was like, I'm done. He's like, babe, all you gotta do is copy these pictures. Okay, I just don't want to do any more. Like, I'll go like to the flea market. I'll go to the yard sales. I'll go and I'll do all that fun stuff. But I, I think that's why I like um doing like the job I have,
Yeah.
because yes, I'm shopping, but it's always different stuff.
Yeah.
And it's different people, and I'd see different people, or not anymore. Now it's all getting to like leave at the door, and I'm like, yay.
I'd love to do something like this full time, but I mean, I don't even consider it part time. It's like, part time work for not even part time pays. But
So, but it's just, I don't mind doing this reselling thing. It's just, uh, I can't take pictures.
they, like we watched that one video today from him, and he did everything. Like he went and found some stuff at some Goodwills. Then he went back to his house and he did like a whatnot
Whatnot.
video, and like sold the stuff on there. Then he was pretty transparent about 90% of what everything, but he said like this is how much I spent. So basically, he spent like $50 and he sold everything.
Made 140.
Yeah, and after everything, the fees and $140 in the pocket. So I mean, is $50 worth making 140?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, see, if we were doing that, if we were doing whatnot, and I didn't have to like take pictures of it and do the descriptions and all that other stuff,
Hmm.
all I had to do was write it on or do a whole thing. So I'm selling these glasses.
Yeah.
I'm selling that C4 can. Uh, Sweet, I can do that, and then get on and be like, so I have this cyberpunk
Yeah.
wheels car. I'm starting it at $4 and go.
Yeah.
Like I could do that. That I wouldn't mind.
But it kind of helps that he's got a
He's
good
got a massive
he's got a good
following.
following. So it's like some people like us get on there and it may take a while to like build up an audience.
And he
You
said that. He said if you're not a social person, it's going to take you a
Yeah,
long
take a
time.
while to get going.
He's like, you have to get on here and you have to have fun and you have to, you know.
Mhm.
So, but I mean, if we were doing it like that, then I probably would do more. I'd be
Yeah.
more involved. But
There's a couple channels we like watching to try to get some information, like they kind of be on the lookout for different stuff.
yeah,
But then you go to find the stuff and you can't remember anything.
I know.
But I mean, it's interesting. It's fun. It's kind of crazy that it's I don't want to say the world is kind of the world. It's like we've turned to this. Like reselling. This it's weird. Like I remember it's been going on for a good amount of time,
Forever.
but like it's like you can actually do this as a full-time job, and it's crazy.
He
If you
said
do
he
it
made
right.
300,000 last year.
$300,000. That was just for whatnot. That wasn't eBay,
No, yeah.
or was it all together?
No,
I can't remember.
it was
So
just whatnot.
that's pretty good. That's pretty good.
That's not counting his YouTube channel, his stuff,
Yeah.
all that other stuff.
Yeah, they're doing okay. I'm like, hey, you gotta be happy for them. They figured it out. That's one thing I always feel like with the YouTube, and like we watch different channels, and like we were watching one channel today, and he goes to like different places and looks at different things, and he was at this McDonald's,
Oh
and
dear gosh.
he talked about this McDonald's sign for
For
like,
8 minutes.
and Serena's like, he keeps talking about this dumb sign, and I'm like, he's figured it
Eight
out. He, he's
minutes.
got 150,000 subscribers. He's figured something out, right?
Eight. Oh my gosh.
I don't know. You give me 150,000 subscribers, I'm going to talk about something for 8 minutes.
Dear Lord. I
But
don't
hey,
understand how, like, but yet we sit and watch their videos
oh yeah,
every
yeah,
and the whole time, and it's not just that one channel, it's another channel too.
oh yeah,
And he talks in circles
yeah.
about nothing. It's like the Seinfeld show
He's got almost 500,000 subscribers. Yeah.
all the time though. And it's like it's Jerry Seinfeld all over again.
Yeah.
It's a show about nothing.
So I don't know. I'd love to do something that doesn't involve. I mean, that's kind of they kind of they kind of portray it, like it's all you can do. This, you don't have to go to work. I mean, it's still a job. You gotta create the content. You gotta find the stuff to sell. I'd love to do something like that, but it just, it's like you have it or you don't.
But I think everybody has it. Like Harry, or because I've already thrown his name out there, like Harry Tornado, he's talked before. Like he worked, he quit his job and his wife still worked. And then he made sure he had enough money. He was
Yeah.
making enough money doing eBay before he wanted to make sure that he had enough money that he could pay their bills, pay him, and pay her before he would be like, okay, you can quit.
He did make one comment, and I was just like, "Holy crap!" He said like they had a huge whatnot show like the week prior or something, and they sold like a hundred
$10,000 worth of stuff.
180 things or something,
Yeah.
and it was like $10,000 worth, and after the fees and everything, $6,000 for him. And he made the comment, he's like, "Do you know how long it would take me if I was working at my other job before I quit? How long it'd take me to get $6,000 take home?"
Yeah.
It take a while, man.
Yeah.
It take a while. So you hear something like that, and you're like, "Dang, man, that's awesome, man." I'm jealous.
But then, like, he was talking, like, best people had made the comments, like, well, you spent 7 hours packaging all that stuff up
Yeah, true.
and everything like that. But
Does it add up? That's up to you.
7 hours for $6,000?
I'm good.
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah.
Even if you, because he said that, like, however long the show is, the whatnot show, is pretty much how long it takes him to package everything up.
Yeah.
So he said the show was like almost 6 hours, then it was 7 hours to pick it up. Okay, so that's
It's a long time to
13
do a show.
hours. That's 13 hours
Yeah.
that let's just say, between the show and packing. $6,000 for 13 hours.
That's I guess
I could do that
that's the dream for a lot of people.
for
Be
you.
for to be an independent, do your own thing. I would love that.
Yeah,
I'd love that. So that was our week.
that
That
was
was
our
our
week.
week. Yeah. This week we'll start out good by going to the flea market and 4-day work week. Hopefully.
Heck yeah.
Hopefully. I don't know if they're gonna. If that's what I'm afraid of. Like when we have 3-day weekends, that they're gonna. Well, you didn't work Monday, so we're gonna need you to work Saturday. It's like But that's the business. But how are you feeling with everything?
I'm okay. I'm a little tired,
Yeah.
but we did a lot this week, so
But we had a. I know we said like if you made it to the end of the video, thank you very much.
thank you.
Because Serena told me she was proud of me right before we did this.
I'm always proud of you, but I'm proud of you because usually Anthony, like if something would break or whatever on the computer, he'd sit here and cuss up a storm and throw the thing or
So
threaten to throw it or
we record everything on the OBS platform, I guess you can call it. And for some reason, something was wrong in the programming. It wouldn't open up the app on the laptop, and so then I couldn't figure it out. And I was watching a couple of videos, and they're like, "Well, you got to uninstall this and uninstall that," and I'm like, "You start uninstalling stuff in your computer."
and I feel bad too because like he's like, "Can you help me with this?"
And I
and
wasn't really
everything.
looking for help. I just need an extra set of ears.
So like I'm like, "Yeah, sure."
Oh yeah.
And then my dad calls
I
and
like immediately we start and the
doing
phone
this.
rings. I'm like, man, why is this always happening?
And so it's my dad, and he's wanting to complain about my brother calling him all the time because my brother's in jail. And like he wants to complain about my brother calling, and then where my dad lives, it's like right in the middle, like,
Liver by Chattanooga somewhere.
yeah. And so the tornadoes always start in Kansas and then make their way up to North Carolina, and my dad's like in that stream. And so like my dad's like complaining about like the storms, like I can do something about the storms. And so I'm just like, and Anthony, I can see him over there. He's getting a little bit more frustrated. And all I'm sitting here with my dad, and I'm going, I know, Dad.
I gotta go.
I know, Dad.
I gotta go.
I know, Dad.
And part of me just like I'm sitting here. I'm sitting in this same position where I'm sitting right here
And I'm
and
sitting
trying
over
to
there.
I wanted to be like, come on, but it's like I kept telling myself, don't look over there, don't look over there. And I kept watching this video, and I turned the volume down so you wouldn't be interrupted. And I was, and we got through it.
And and then all of a sudden, at the end of it, my dad goes, "Okay, well, I'm done griping and
All right, see you
complaining.
later.
I love you. Bye." And I'm like,
You couldn't call a half hour before, but that's yeah.
"It's my dad."
We got through it, and then the camera was. It doesn't matter. We got it going,
I'm proud of him.
but it was interesting. But all in all, it was a good week. We didn't really mean for it to go this long. We've been trying to keep it around the 30-minute
Yeah,
deal, but that's what happens when we start talking. We start
talking.
rambling, ramble on. It happens,
It happens.
but
It's what happens when you have the two oldest have married each other.
mm, but yeah. What else you got, my love?
That's it.
So we got. If you made it to the end, once again, thank you,
Thank you. Thank
and
you.
leave us a comment. And if you feel like you want to subscribe and see more of our content, you know, let us know down below what you think. And are we good?
We're in.
All right, guys. Until next time. Hopefully next week, but we're not promising. We'll see you guys next time.
Bye.